Okay, so really the goal for this video is for people to get to know you. We want people to have a sense of who you are and what your ministry is, how you not just began the ministry, but how the Lord began to work in your heart. Because really, the story of you is a part of the story of Heavenly Brightness Ministries. And so I want people to know how the turn of events in your life took place, because where a lot of missions in Haiti are outside stateside organizations, people coming into Haiti doing the work, your story really is doing the work in Haiti from within Haiti. And a lot of people, even if they see your resume, may think that you're kind of an outsider on the inside because you have a doctorate. You've gone as high in education as you can go. You've done a lot of education in the States, and that can really give people the wrong idea that you're kind of a stateside missionary in Haiti. And part of the thing I love about Heavenly Brightness Ministries is that the ministry that you do is not, you're not somebody stateside or this side of Haiti being sent to Haiti. That's home for you. That is, you didn't even leave Haiti to do your education. Everything you've done from within Haiti. And I really want people to get the idea that that's home for you. So start by telling me where you grew up and what was the religious background of your family.
I was born in Grand Bassin, close to the Dominican Republic. It's about 1 hour's drive from the Dominican Republic. It's at the northeast of Haiti. In that area where I grew up, it's been known for a witchcraft area. My granddad, from my dad's side, was a witch doctor, and my grandma on my mom's side was a female witch doctor. And they used to take all the grandchildren they have and having voodoo ceremony and dancing, beating drum, and eating, worshiping the Loas every year. They have to do that every year, and every children and grandchildren must be part of this. If you don't go, they threaten you, and they tell you that if you don't go, the Loa will be mad at you. The Loa are mostly the gods. They will be mad at you, and you're gonna get killed. And because of this, children and grandchildren, wherever they might be, even people might be far away of that area, they should come. They should come for that ceremony, and every year they do that. And it's basically my family background. But when I was 13 years old, by accident, I attended an open air service. As I said, by accident, because this was not my life. I just attended by accident. And as the preacher preached, he preached on John 3:16. And he preached that anyone who wants to be saved, you should come to Jesus. The only way. There is no other way. And if you don't come to Jesus, you will be soon dying, and you're gonna go to hell. And that's make me afraid, because making people afraid is kind of voodoo identity. And since I was part of this kind of life, and I feel afraid because somebody said that if you don't have that Jesus, you're gonna go to hell. And afterward, I talked to that man, and I said, "Hey, brother, would you please tell me what you mean?" And he said, "Yes, if anyone hasn't a Jesus follower, you will be going to hell." And I said, "Will you explain me more what you mean?" And he kept explaining me what he meant. And but I said, "Well, I don't see your Jesus, because in our voodoo environment, we can see our gods, we can touch them, and we feed them, and we give sacrifice to them, but I don't see your Jesus. You have no bags. Where do you put it?" And he said, "Well, my Jesus is not something that I can put in bag. It's not something that I should see. It is in my heart." And well, I get trouble about this because I don't understand how he can have his Jesus in his heart. He said, well, I have it in my heart, and if you're ready to receive it, I will put my Jesus in you, and he will dwell in your heart. And as he dwell in your heart, you're gonna be sealed. And as you sealed, you won't be going to hell, you will be saved to go to heaven. I feel like, oh, if this is what I want. And I said, well, would you pray for me and give me your Jesus? And he said, yes. And he laid hand on me, and I knelt down, and he prayed on me. And he said, just open your heart to receive it. And you know, I didn't familiar with that kind of life, but I kind of opened my heart, and I feel like something is going into my heart at this time. It might be conceptual, it might be an idea, but I feel that something filled my heart at the same time when that man lay hand on me. But when he finished praying, and he said, may God bless you, you receive it. And I said, well, thank you. And as he stepped to go, and I said, wait a minute, because I don't know how I can get home with that kind of Jesus, which is not really the life of my family, knowing that I can be mistreated, beaten, and even denied. If anything, say that I received some sort of Jesus. And he prayed with me. He prayed that my family would be open to me, would be open to my new decision, and would allow me to do my decision to follow the Lord. And when I went home, and as I told you, it was by accident I attended that open air service, and my mom said, where were you? And I said, well, I was at the service doing by the Baptist church. And she said, well, what do you mean? And I said, well, I was passing, and I started trembling and crying because I know what will happening to me. And I started trembling and crying, and she said, well, what have you, who sent you there? And I said, well, nobody sent me, but I just passing, and somebody who was preaching told me that if I don't receive his Jesus, I'm gonna be going to hell, and I don't want that. She said, what do you mean? Do you mean you convert? With a very furious face. And I start trembling and crying, but you know, I keep this in mind until now, that God answered the prayer of the preacher at that time who prayed for my family, because at the same time God made a miracle. My elder brother, in my culture at the time, your elder brother should be sent to school and gonna be ready to take over for the family. Everyone need to respect that person. And he stood up at the same time and said, well, the next time you're going there, tell me to go too. And that saved me from being mistreated, because my mom respect him and thinking, oh, if he want to go, maybe that might be something good. And that's the kind of way that God has saved my life.
Vilmer, let me ask you a couple of questions.
Yes.
Okay, just for clarity. Okay, so one of the things you mentioned was that the background of your family was the belief in voodoo, and you said that you had a grandparent on both sides of your family that were witch doctors. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so you had a witch doctor grandparent on your mother's side and a witch doctor grandparent on your father's side.
Yes.
And a lot of the religion, you said, is based on fear. So a lot of the worship of the gods is less about belief and more about fear of the things that will happen to you if you don't believe. Is that correct?
Absolutely. Most of the thing it's just about fear. Because you have fear, or you're afraid of the law, you're afraid of the gods, and the family, they made you afraid of them. You should present sacrifices and offering to them every year, at least.
And so when you stumbled across this open air meeting and the preacher was preaching on John 3:16 and he shared the gospel with you, and the thing you mentioned is that when he prayed for you about this difference between the gods that you can handle and that you can touch, in fact, that was the question you put to him was where is your Jesus? We're used to gods we can see, but here you're talking about a Jesus that you can't see. And he mentions Jesus living in your heart. He prays for you, and you said you did, however you try to explain it, you're not trying to explain how, but definitely something in that moment happened to you.
Absolutely. I felt that something actually entered my heart at the same time. I couldn't explain it. I don't know. I didn't know what it was, but something somehow filled my heart at the same time, at the same moment.
Yeah. And so then going home, the fear was if you convert to Christianity in Haiti, over here in the States, most people are already at least confessing Christians. So there's no danger for most of us if we become Christians. But in Haiti, to become a Christian, especially if you're in a voodoo family, that means a very hard life for you, because not only might you get beat, the family's fear is that if you convert, you're going to anger the gods, and if you anger not the spirits and the gods, then they're going to do harm to you. So when you're already suffering and you're already poor, and then one of your children converts to Christianity, you're going to anger the spirits and the gods, and it's going to be even worse for you.
Absolutely. That's basically why when you got convert from a witchcraft family, that the rest of the family, they will deny you, they will mistreat you. It's just because it's most like you don't really love them. Because if you do that, you will make the Lord, the gods, mad at them, and they're gonna be they even think that they can get killed by the gods. And it's not only you, actually, it's the whole family, because voodoo has the idea of connectedness. They feel like they are all connected in a root, which is the gods. And if you make the god angry at them, the gods will be angry at all of them.
Yeah,
and that's why they want all of the family members to stay connected with the woods, to not cut down from the woods, because they want to, they don't want to make the gods angry at them.
So one of the things you talked about again too was when you went home, you were afraid because you didn't want to get beat for having been converted, and so you questioned the man who prayed for you. After which, when he prayed for you, you felt a change inside. You were different. Something happened to you in that moment, but that was a pretty big impact on your life. But then, out of your fear of going home, the man prayed for you again, and his prayer was. Would you explain what his prayer was for your family, and how the answering of that prayer impacted you? Because it seems like he prayed for you once, and the Lord did something for you. Then he prayed for you again, and the Lord did something for you again. And the reason I ask that is because that seems to have affected the way you have understood faith and your relationship to God and the mission He has called you to from that point on.
Yeah, absolutely. This is the starting point of my belief in Jesus, because at the same time, I not only feel that Jesus entered my heart, or something at least entered my heart based on my spiritual understanding at that time, but the second thing is how God answered so quick and so amazing that prayer. Because praying a prayer like that, it's close to be irrational, because you know in advance that you will be denied by your family. And 2 years ago, I had a young lady in my church. She got converted and she got denied by her family, and it's the way it is. I know that's gonna be happen, but that's why I said, wait, before you go, you should pray for my family, because I know what is happening, what will be happening to me. and he prayed. And I saw at the time that God answered his prayer, and that started to impact my life, thinking, oh, the thing that I felt entered my heart is actually true. It is there. I can't see him, but he is there.
So twice in the same day,
Absolutely.
when this man prayed for you, you saw an immediate impact of prayer and faith, and God kind of giving favor to you.
Absolutely. And, to make a long story short, it smells like God wanted me to be the kind of person that I am today, knowing him and following him. Because, I might not have been able to read and write, because the same day that my mom decided to register my name on school, my dad said, you should not. And if you do that, you are on your own. And well, by any means, I will, because he needs to be able to read and write. And but guess what? My dad declined, and my mom was on her own. And at the same month, a wild peanut grew on a land that they owned, and my mom take care of that wild peanut and harvest them. And she got to 45 measure of peanut and sell them and send me to school for the first year. And now that is not the end of the story, because I should keep going to go to school. And somebody give me a layer chicken, and that chicken lay eggs all year long, sometimes which is impossible. It's when I got old and I understand that a good layer can lay 7 eggs in 10 days. But guess what? My layer lay eggs all year long, and my mom harvests the eggs and paying for my school. And also, I didn't understand how a layer could last that long. Because it's more than 6 years, about 5 to 6 years laying eggs, and my mom harvests the eggs and pay for my schooling. And it's how I have done my elementary school. I started.
How old were you when that started? When she started sending you to school?
6 years old.
You're 6 years old. So already there were things that were kind of preparing you for where you are now.
Yeah, absolutely.